So how many cubes did you make?
Actually, 8. 8 cubes. I'm doing pretty okay. Excited to see or hear the music. Kind of for the first time. I've heard it a little bit, but not on speakers or anything, so didn't really get a feel for it yet. I tried to make a cafe scene. You heard, it was a horn player. Het is nog een beetje out of sync, of niet?
So you remade all the sounds
with the orchestra. Yeah. So what you hear is the ambient sound. I tried to recreate the tonal qualities of the room where this cube or hollow cube or upper cube is placed in. So that's the sound of the strings and the flute, which is only playing whispery, airy, eerie-like sounds. And the strings, the cello and the double bass, they tapped on their instruments. Well, now it's down to making stuff. So now it's kind of down to the end where we have to kind of just get through issues, problems, things that don't work in sync or don't work together to make the final thing. So I think I quite enjoy the making phase and the phase of working things out versus the phase of just talking, not really getting to any point. I think because I had that feeling a bit after the first week that we had almost too much time talking.
Ever since I can remember, I've observed my surroundings. My concept of Bath became so completely catalogued and modelled that I was in danger of responding to the model and not to the reality. I was imposing my own pattern to my environment. I saw what I wanted to see. I heard what I wanted to hear. Why? Is this a pattern of reality or an assemblage of things which I've connected in my mind?
Well, it's more focused now, but that took a long time. I think until yesterday somehow we felt, well, this must be it. So we were working all the stuff out where we were thinking about and discussed about, and now it comes all together. There's pieces where we really collaborated, but there are sections where everybody did their own thing. But I think that kind of relates back to the fact that we all want to have our own identity for the sections of things that we're doing. So if I'm doing a video, I don't want to have my own identity of it. I want to have my own kind of feel of it. No.
As far as working with the art side is concerned, I've done a fair amount of music anyway, and so I'm to some extent used to working with musicians and what music can do. But on the art side, the visual side I should say, and the film, the way of thinking is again very different, and the way you can chop and change with scenes, and I find I have to keep a closer eye on them.
So the problem was kind of trying to unify what I've been doing with the images that Julian was pulling from the internet.
And he's having to cooperate with me now when it comes to deciding which slides to use in the bits which aren't filmed, but where I'm showing some slides and voiceover. And as far as I'm concerned, the subject matter of the slides is very important. He's looking at them as art objects, and sometimes it appears cutting out the bits of the slides which are important for the information. So we do have a slight problem there.
It's still a kind of fragmented bunch of information, and I think what we have to do tonight and still tomorrow is trying to really pull it together tighter.
this is the 11th hour. Like tomorrow we have to perform this piece, but we don't know big sections yet of what is going to be done, and that's a bit like that freaks me out a little bit.
I don't know what to expect. I think tonight we're going to do the tryout, some sort of a tryout. Tomorrow will be the first performance. I think it's going to be all right. Yeah.
It holds no worries for me, and I know that I can control time to within, I don't know, maybe a second or two in terms of the way I say things, and yeah, I find no problem. But the main thing is to just be relaxed and to regard it as fun, and to know. I think the important thing is to know how to escape from mistakes. If I do make a mistake here, I know exactly the structure of the piece, and so I know exactly how to move on from there, no matter what mistake I make. And that means I don't make mistakes anymore.
I don't know. What I learned, but also with other projects, is that I don't want to do projects which don't have an initial plan. I really hate that.
I think it's a product of the three of us for sure, definitely. And I think that there's a lot of things within, I've said this before, but I think there's a lot of things within the films that are Julian's or Arnold's in terms of ideas or in terms of thoughts that went into the process before making the films. So in a sense you can see them on the screen in the films as much as you can probably hear Arnold and myself in what Julian is talking about.
The topic is mine, the general approach is mine, but the way in which it's expressed is not. I have a theme, and this theme relates to some larger stuff that I'm doing, and it's very much in my interests to see how other ways of presenting ideas, such as we have here, can be worked within this theme, because actually that's the whole basis of it. I have the idea that art in general is useful from an evolutionary point of view, from making us a successful animal, and so this particular thing is a partial exploration of why art enables us to be successful in an unpredictable environment.